Hi, good afternoon here from Palm Springs, California. Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine. And I'm so glad to have our guest here today to talk about his film. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My name is Greg Green. I am the director and editor of the motion picture Tempest, and I'm talking to you from Boise, Idaho right now.
Love it. Love it. Very different than Palm Springs. But I know we just talked before on camera. We got on camera and you used to live here. So I will have some writers at the event and that you will be meeting on the carpet, I'm sure. But I wanted to get a chance to meet you and talk to you a little bit today.
Thank
Um,
you.
so for those who haven't seen the film yet, how would you describe The Tempest and what first inspired this story? I mean, the idea of parallel worlds where a person gets a second chance at life is fascinating. What sparked that concept?
The story of Tempest it centers around a woman in a troubled marriage, and she ends up having an affair with her husband in another universe. She finds this device that takes her to that other universe. What can go wrong? The reason why the marriage is troubled is that she and her husband lost a son when he was 10 years old. Well, when she is transported to this other universe and having this affair with this very passionate version of her husband, her son is alive in that universe. So it becomes very interesting. It I've always been fascinated by quantum mechanics and other universes of existing at the same time, and it seems like something that people are talking about a lot lately, which is really cool. Um, so David Weisenberg came up with the kernel of the idea for Tempest, and he presented it to me, and I said, "Oh, yes, this is it." So we hired Gary Williams to write Tempest, but before that happened, the three of us story conferenced and pushed on what the story could be. Working with Gary Williams, who's an accomplished screenwriter and has been doing it for 35 years, was an incredible experience because he knows he's thinking 20 steps ahead and seeing in his mind if an idea will work in the story structure or not. So David would throw out an idea and Gary would go silent and he'd say, "Yeah, that would work." Or later on, I would throw out an idea and we'd be going back and forth, and David or Gary would say, "No, that's not going to work, but we could do this." So it was a really interesting, fascinating process. It took us several weeks to do that. And then Gary disappeared for 3 weeks, and he created this terrific screenplay and for Tempest, and I'm very excited about it.
Good, good, good. So Miranda finds herself in a reality where many of her heartbreaks never happened. What interested you most about exploring the question of whether we would truly be happier if we could erase our past mistakes and pain?
That's a terrific question, Valerie. In Tempest, we explore the what ifs. As we go through our lives, we often say to ourselves, well, if I would have made this decision or that decision, what would my life be now? Well, in Tempest, we explore that. And I'm excited about that aspect of the movie because and what I like about movies is that we can take that viewer into that world and do the exploring and talk about the what if. something that we typically couldn't do in real life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and what happens, um, I can describe Tempest in 3 words, and it's heaven has shadows. It always looks greener on the other side of the fence, and Miranda finds out that there's a whole new set of problems, and that becomes fascinating to see how that comes together and how she deals with that. And meanwhile, she's going back and forth. And her other Miranda is getting very upset because she doesn't have control of this until later. So it gets very interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's an exercise in exploring the what if, and we see it dynamically in Tempest.
Yeah, the film blends relationship drama, science fiction, and the psychological themes. How did you balance those different genres while keeping the story emotionally grounded?
In Tempest, we did not want it to be a typical sci-fi movie. It certainly has a sci-fi component to it. We really wanted to explore life, to explore heart, to explore emotion, and uh, and and really wrestle with those ideas of, okay, I lost my son, now what? But I'm a successful artist, but she's broken. She's devastated. Whereas the other Miranda has Chris, but they don't get along. And there's all kinds of other things because she is an artist too, but she had to give up that life because of Chris. Because so I'm I was drawn to the story because life is very complicated. Life is messy, and we all know this to be true. And in Tempest, there are so many things that people can relate to in one way or the other. So, am, do I like the sci-fi portion of it? Yeah, but that's not what it's all about. It's really all about um, living with our decisions and how they impact our lives.
So Miranda is an artist, and you're going to know which one I'm talking about, whose personal life is falling apart when the story begins. What drew you to making an artist the central character, and how does creativity play into the film's larger themes?
I love the fact that Tempest explores the artistic aspect of Miranda. I will call her Miranda One,
Yeah,
the
right.
successful artist.
Yeah.
um, she has the opportunity to explore that artistic creativity that she has. And she's very successful and gets a lot of satisfaction from it. But yeah, even though she has that, she's hollow. She's grief stricken because of the loss of her son. But and then we have Miranda too.
I wanted to talk about the alternate Miranda because she
Right.
becomes just as important to the story as the original Miranda. So, what
Yes.
challenges did that create from a writing and directing standpoint?
It was very challenging. We it all be it really the film becomes a mystery, and you have to follow along very carefully.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and the reason why I wanted to structure it that way, and the reason why Gary crafted the script so well, it's it's a type of thing where we, if we're Miranda too, we don't know what's going on. We are bewildered. And I wanted the audience to feel that to a certain degree. If the audience knew what was going on from the beginning, that would not be compelling.
Yeah.
So I wanted the audience to participate, actively participate, and really be in the shoes of Miranda too, as well as she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. And Miranda is the same way. She's thinking she's dreaming. All of a sudden, her husband is passionate, and he wasn't before. Um, so yeah, it's a complicated relationship that Miranda has once this starts occurring because she's popping into this other world that Miranda 2 inhabited, and Miranda 2 is popping into Miranda 1's world, and she thinks she's going crazy.
Yeah.
So
Casting. I want to talk about a little bit. Erica Piccininni delivers a performance that requires her character to navigate multiple emotional realities. What made her the right choice for Miranda, and what impressed you most about her work on the film?
we did extensive casting for Tempest. As a director, I learned a long time ago that you have to have the right people in front of the camera. You can be the best director in the world, but if the person in front of the camera doesn't have the acting chops, you are wasting your time. And as I said, I learned that a long time ago. So we spent months and months and months looking for Miranda and the rest of the cast. And when I found Erica, it was very exciting for me because she is a terrifically talented actor and she has comedy chops, and the role requires that. If she was leaning into the sad part of her role, or sad part of her life in the film, that wouldn't work. That's there. It's in the script. It exists. What I wanted her to do is explore the humor when it's appropriate, and she did that. So anyway, uh, I was very excited to find Erica after months and months, and I talked to her about the dual role, and she demonstrated that she could do that tremendously well. And working with her on set was a treat. She was prepared, and it's just it's very obvious when she's Miranda 1. It's very obvious when she's Miranda 2. Um, but it's all about casting, and I'm
Yep.
here to tell you we have a terrific cast for
Love it.
Tempest.
Love it. Love it. There, well, let's say the title Tempest, which why is the E backwards? The title Tempest evokes storms, upheaval, and transformation. And so, what does the title mean to you personally, and why was it the perfect name for this story?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Valerie. It's upheaval, it's storms, it's craziness, it's everything happens on an island. I mean, there's a couple nods to the Shakespeare Tempest, but it's not the same story by any means. Um, I love the title though because what comes to mind is maybe not so much the Shakespearean play, but the storm, the big storm, and that's what's going on in their lives. The backwards E indicates there's a different universe that we're dealing with, and that was a way to represent that.
Yeah, yeah. So I just can't thank you enough for your time. I know you gotta get on a flight in a couple days and all that good stuff. So tell our readers and our viewers, how can they find out more about you, about the film, and when it airs and where? I will have it in my article, but I want to hear it from you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Go to tempestthemovie.com and you'll find out where to buy the tickets. We're premiering this Friday, June 19th, during Dances with Films. We're very honored. You can buy tickets there, and they're going fast, so you have to work fast. But everything is at tempestthemovie.com.
Beautiful. That's June 19th at 9:30 p.m. Dances with Films. Thank you so much, Gregory, for your time today and for this film. And keep up the great work. We're the HollywoodTimes.today, aspiringmagazine.com, and our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. And have a great flight. And you'll see some of the writers there on the carpet. So make sure you say hi to the Hollywood Times.
I will. Thank you, Valerie.
Beautiful. Thank you so much again, Gregory. Bye bye.
Bye bye.